My most inspirational teacher when I was growing up was a teacher called Miss Brand. She was a PE and health teacher at Motlop High. What I really liked about her was that she was fun and easygoing, she was approachable, and she didn't hold grudges, which is one of the great things that I learnt of her, and it's something that I've tried to instill in my career, my work life, both in and outside of work. I've found that it's a really good tool to be able to engage with kids and also parents as well, and teachers alike.
My favourite teacher, the teacher that sticks in my mind the most, was my biology teacher when I was in year 11. His name was Mr. England, and he was very passionate about biology, and I remember him coming to class one day and showing us slides of freshwater crayfish from Tasmania that he'd been studying in his honours degree, and he inspired in me a passion for biology. He made me realise it was okay to be, passionate about things like that. So he didn't inspire me to be a teacher as such, but in later years when I've become a teacher, I've realised the importance of passion for what you're teaching to inspire your kids also.
And why? Okay, well, I had a couple. They were both my psychology teachers. It was Sue Kwong and Jenny Heath. And when I think back to them, I think about how much support they gave me and how much feedback they provided me to improve me as a learner. And they really challenged me in the way I thought and made me think outside the box. And it's actually funny because Sue sat with me one day and asked me, "What do you want to do when you leave high school?" And I said to her, "I want to study psychology and be a psychologist." She looks at me and says, "I think you've got some really good qualities to become a teacher." And I looked at her and I laughed at her and I said, "No way will I ever become a teacher. They work too hard." And after my 3-year psychology degree, I had a change of heart, became a teacher, and now I'm a high school teacher teaching the subjects I love as a student. So.
My most inspirational teacher when I was at school was my PE teacher in Year 12. His name was Dan Oster. I guess a couple of reasons why he was really inspirational for me would be, first and foremost, he was really knowledgeable with the content. Basically, a lot of us learn in different ways, and no matter what the questions were that we had about the content of the course, he was able to give us some sort of an answer. He taught the lessons with a lot of variety, and that also meant that we're really engaged with what he had to say, so that was fantastic. Another thing that I found was really inspirational from Mr. Oster was his personal approach. He was always happy, friendly and smiling, and it was great when you walk into a classroom to see a smiling face welcoming you. He engaged in conversations with us around the school, not just about how we're going in class, but also how we went in footy on the weekends and how we're coping with all our subjects in general. And so he had that caring approach and made us feel like we're an important part of not just his school, his class, but the school as well, which was fantastic. So there are a couple of things I've tried to learn from him and implement into my own teaching. And so that's why Mr. Dan Oster was my most inspirational teacher at school. Thanks.